Hello, in this Uncracking JavaScript video we will take a look at this mem. You can see it on the left hand side here, kind of things that makes your mind blow. Actually we'll try to figure out what is going on and recreate it and talk about it, what is the logic behind the JavaScript language. So let's say let's start from start. So we have 2 plus 2 and we have 4. Okay, fine enough. So we are adding two numbers and it's actually work like a calculator. So we can add numbers and JavaScript will calculate it for us. And that's clearly two numbers. So what will happen if we actually do two strings? Any string that will add a string into string, it will just add the string at the end of this. So it won't be any different from what we will do like A and B. This is what we are trying to do. We're trying to add a piece of string and piece of another string. So another example will be hello, and then we can say word, right? So it will just take one string, add another string to it, and that's it. So the fact that we have numbers in here, it doesn't really matter, because what we could do is we could have a lot of numbers here and it still will be treated as a string. This is what we want to do here. String plus string, it will be longer string. Okay, so let's go to another third version of it. So we'll have 2 plus 2 minus 2. Typical mathematical equation. So 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 2, it's 2. And JavaScript is doing a right thing here. So it's trying to calculate the numbers as we put it there. So what will happen if we'll do the same with the strings? So I will put two strings here and two strings here. And in fact, it's 20. It's not like, I don't know what you could expect from something like this, but in fact, JavaScript is doing 20 for us. So what is happening? We know that 2 plus 2 is 22, right? So this is what JavaScript is trying to do. It takes one by one and trying to figure out what you are trying to do. So we have a string 2, and then you adding to that string another string 2. So it's 22. But this time you're trying to minus. In strings, there is no A minus B. It's not such a thing, so not a number. It cannot take this as a number. So if I will have here 5 or like 5 minus 3, you see JavaScript handle it. So JavaScript handle it because minus is typical mathematical operator. So plus will work with string because you try to concatenate or append to this current string. But in case of minus, there is no string 1 minus string B. There is no such a syntax in JavaScript. So obviously if you use minus, that means you are trying to do mathematical calculation on something. So JavaScript first, it will try to take, okay, I know this is string, I will try to convert it to number and I will give you a result. This is what is happening here. So 5 is a number, it can be converted to a number, 3 is a number, can be converted, then 5 minus 3, it's 2. So this is what's happening with strings if you do minus. So going back to our case here, what is happening here is JavaScript is taking 2, adding 2, this is another string, so it will add one string to another, it will be 22, and then it's minus. So it say, okay, we have already here, 22 as a string, and we try to minus 2 out of it. So both of them are string, but minus is not for string, so we need to convert both of them into a number. If one of those won't be a number, then we have not a number. So if I will say something, if it cannot be converted, then it will throw not a number. But if both of the things can be converted to a number, it will basically do operation like this. So 22 minus 2 here. So this is not really mind-blowing. This is something that JavaScript help us to deal with if you do, or if you handle this improperly. So you can't really expect a string minus a string will be some good output. So JavaScript is trying to figure out for you, for your mistakes as a developer, and to trying to handle it like this. So if you have something like this, the proper answer will be 20. because you can add strings to a string and it will concatenate to append one string to another, but you can't really minus the strings, so it will try to help you out. You're making a mistake, but I'll try to convert it to number and then give you an output of that. So that's it. It's not very complicated, but it's very actually useful to know what is JavaScript is doing behind the scenes to help you out as a developer with converting strings into numbers. Thank you.